Honestly, looking back, I'm still not sure where the guts came from. It all feels less like a memory and more like a fever dream I had a starring role in. It was a couple of years back, the dead of winter in the high desert of Oregon. You know that kind of cold that doesn't just bite, it claws? Yeah, that kind. I was driving home from a gig in Bend, late, pushing midnight, and the road was pitch black. We're talking 0 dark 30 darkness on Highway 97, the kind of road where if your car stalls, you're just toast. I was maybe 40 miles outside of Redmond, and the only sound was the crackle of my old truck radio. My mind was completely checked out, running on autopilot, just ready to crash on the couch. Then I saw it. At first, it was nothing really, just a tiny dark smear way up ahead on the side of the road. I figured it was a piece of shredded tire. A gator, as we call them. But as I got closer, my headlights finally cut through the gloom, and my heart just absolutely sank into my stomach. It wasn't a gator. It was a dog. But not just a dog. This creature was a phantom. It was sitting on the shoulder, hunched over, covered in what looked like mud and ice, and it was so skinny you could practically see the moonlight through its ribcage. It wasn't moving, just staring into the black timberline. It looked less like an animal and more like a ghost. I slammed on the brakes. My old tires squealed. It was probably loud enough to wake up the whole damn county. I threw the truck in park, but I didn't get out right away. I just sat there for a solid minute, my heart thumping like a drum solo. I've seen some things out on these back roads, but there was something profoundly wrong about this picture. It was too still, too quiet. I took a deep breath. "All right, man," I muttered to myself. "Don't be a hero, but don't be a jerk." I grabbed the thickest blanket I had from the back seat, the one my grandma made, and I opened the door. The sound of my boot crunching on the icy gravel was enormous. The cold was instant, a gut punch. I kept my voice low, real low. "Hey, buddy. Hey there. I ain't gonna hurt ya." The dog didn't even flinch, didn't look at me, didn't growl. It was like I was invisible. And that's when it hit me. This dog wasn't just lost. This dog was broken. It had been left here. Someone had driven out, probably under the same cloak of darkness, and just dumped him. It's a messed up thing, but it happens all the time. But seeing it, it's a whole different level of messed up. I took a slow step closer, then another. The eerie stillness was the worst part. I got maybe 10 feet away and stopped. I just stood there, trying to bridge the gap between two terrified creatures. "You're okay," I whispered, barely moving my lips. "It's all right. We're just gonna get you warm." And then it finally looked at me. No bark, no whine, just a direct, silent look that hit me like a truck full of bricks. In those eyes, man, I saw fear, sure, but mostly I saw this deep, empty acceptance. He wasn't scared of me. He was just done. He'd given up completely. That sight, that absolute surrender, just flipped a switch in me. I tossed the blanket gently toward him. It landed in a soft heap next to his hip. He didn't move. I knew I had to go all in. I got down on my knees right there in the icy gravel, and I just waited. I didn't try to lure him. I didn't make any sudden movements. I just sat in the biting cold and let him see me. 10 minutes passed like that. Maybe 15. It was an eternity. My knees were screaming. Finally, very slowly, like he was moving underwater, the dog's head lowered. His nose touched the wool blanket. He took a long, shaky sniff. And then he took one slow, painful step toward me. That was the moment. That was the breakthrough. It wasn't a sprint to freedom. It was an act of raw, desperate faith. I didn't try to grab him. I just kept talking, quiet, easy. "That's it, pal. You're solid. We're a team now." He shuffled another step, then another, until he was right at the edge of the blanket. I didn't move my hands. I just let him make the decision. He nudged his head under the blanket, seeking warmth. Then, in the ultimate gesture of trust, he finally, totally collapsed against my leg. I gently reached out and felt the shuddering in his tiny, frail body. He was literally vibrating from the cold and exhaustion. I scooped him up, blanket and all. He was so light, man, so incredibly light. I carried him back to the truck, laid him on the passenger seat, cranked the heat as high as it would go, and just drove. I don't think I said another word until we were home. I called him Gus. Not Ghost, not Lucky, just Gus. A nice, solid name for a dog who needed to feel solid again. It took weeks, maybe months of good food, warm baths, and just being there to bring the real Gus back. The tremors stopped. The blank look faded from his eyes. Slowly, cautiously, the light came back. And now? Now he's the best dog you've ever met. He's a big, goofy, shadow-following menace. He absolutely loves the snow. He sleeps right beside my bed. When I leave the house, he doesn't panic. He just waits. Because he knows. He knows what it feels like to be completely alone on a cold, dark road. And he knows, deep down in his bones, what it feels like to be found. The bond we share, it's not just owner and dog. It's two survivors. It's a confession without words. It's the proof that sometimes the most desperate moment is just the beginning of the most powerful story. Don't ever stop looking for the light. Sometimes you gotta drive 100 miles in the dark just to find it. Thanks so much for watching our story unfold. If you've ever had a rescue change your life, share your story in the comments below. We'd love to read it. And if you want to see more of Gus's journey, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.